Welcome to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is 𝗃𝗹𝗂𝗧𝗏. I'm joined today by Kristina 𝗃𝗹𝗃𝗀 and Rob 𝘃𝗹𝗃 of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. And to our viewers at home, this is all about your legacy today. We're going to talk about the importance of legacy planning. So stay tuned. Kristina, how are you today?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Good. It's so good to see you.
Great to see
Happy
you
to be
always.
together again. Rob, how are you today?
I'm wonderful. It's great to be here.
Great to have you both in the studio because I know that you're so extremely busy. Obviously, the radio show, your podcast, television show, the seminars that you're doing.
Meeting with clients.
Meeting with clients, and you always take the time to come in and do the show. So thank you so very much. I know that viewers at home appreciate that as well.
It's a huge responsibility. Think about that for just a second. This is a really big voice. The first thing I think about every time that we're on the television show, and thank you, all the loyal viewers out there on the podcast, everything else, loyal listeners, thank you. And we know that your time is valuable. We want to give you good, valuable, factual information. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Well, today is a very important topic. Obviously, your powerful legacy. Let's talk a little bit about how important it is to plan for legacy planning. Kristina, why is that important in someone's overall retirement plan?
Well, first off, I don't think there's anything greater that you can leave than a legacy. And we're not always talking about money. Think about that for just a second. If you could leave a stamp on this world, what would it look like? I mean, I can't wait to teach our little grandchild all the fun things. So I think about that and that legacy that we're going to leave to them. But in the financial world, leaving a legacy is going to be a multi-generational situation. So one of the things that we're really looking for is what's going to be the best for your family, but also the best for you. You can't leave a legacy if you're not taking care of first.
That is true. That is true. Is that one aspect that people fail to think about, Rob, legacy planning, when they're looking at their overall retirement picture until they come in to sit with you and Kristina?
I think a lot of people think about the here and now. I don't think it's just in retirement planning. I think it's overall they think about the here and now. And what we look at is, and try to explain to them, is what's going to come for generations. And we look at it from our aspect of how are we going to take care of them for generations. And that's why we have our sons working in the firm as well, because they will know the clients, they will work with the clients, they will, long after we're retired, they're going to know all the families and the parents and be able to continue our legacy and your legacy.
Okay, very, very good. Kristina, what documents are needed for legacy planning? Are we talking about wills and trusts? What does it look like right now?
Everyone's situation is completely different. So first off, we do have powerful partners. I'm not a lawyer, thank heaven. Sorry if you are. But anyway, not a lawyer. So we want to make sure and involve our powerful partners so that you can have the correct documents for what's going to suit your situation. Will, power of attorney, medical attest, those are going to be pretty basic documents for most people. But a trust is a completely different situation. We do have some people that we partner with on trust, but let me explain. A trust for a multi-generational, amazing, beautiful, huge Kentucky horse farm is not going to be the same trust as what you're going to have to leave a business or a small business or maybe even your personal home. Just like cancer doctors specialize in different types of cancer, trust attorneys specialize in different types of trusts. So it can become quite a bit more complicated. And we have searched up and down to make sure that we have the right partners available. We're all very similar. That's one thing that a lot of people comment on when you see any of the partners, or we actually work with your people too, if that's the way it is. We all have the same thing in common. We're here to help you, surrounding you. We're your team.
I love that. I love that. Rob, what role does life insurance play? Are people thinking about that as far as their legacy planning?
I think so. I think they need to if they're not, and it depends on what age you are. If you're over the age of 65, everything's paid off and everything's looking good, does life insurance make sense? Maybe not. But if you're younger than that and you have some bills to pay off and you don't want to leave that debt to loved ones, you want to be able to protect your assets, it may be the best thing for you.
Okay.
And there's several different kinds of life insurance. So you have to look at that and what's best for them.
I think pension preservation. So a lot of folks, let's just say that a gentleman has a pension and then you have a second chance love marriage. So your spouse, your new spouse, is not on your pension. It might be a good idea to get life insurance to be able to continue that income because your pension is going to cut off when you're not here anymore. So that's one of the ways that we can use life insurance. Please make sure that you speak with someone that is letting you know how it is what's best for you. Make them tell you why. And that's very important. Ask those hard questions. If they can't answer, get up and walk away. There's plenty of us out there that can talk to you about some insurance.
And what about insurance to help save with taxes, things like that? Is that something that people need to think about as well, utilizing insurance?
That is my favorite, the tax code 7702. Roth IRA and the tax code 7702. Folks, that's the only two ways that you can save for tax-free retirement. The 7702 is on a life insurance chassis, but it's not necessarily for death benefit. So again, speaking with a professional that knows exactly what they're doing, they're going to give you what's called an illustration. If they don't give you an illustration with every page numbered at the bottom, again, make sure that you see someone who does. This is important that you understand why they would choose that and how it's going to function and why it's best for you.
And Rob, what about healthcare? What role does healthcare play in all of this?
Well, I mean, we talked on previous episodes and even earlier in this episode that we talk about retirement homes, getting sick later on in life, that the older we get, the less healthier we can be. I know I had never had health problems in my life until this year. Yeah. And then I had a major surgery in May, and nothing was ever wrong before that. So you never know what's going to pop up. So it is very important, especially the older you get, to make sure that you're properly covered.
It's just because we got married. That's why, married men are healthier, because the wives nag them to go to the doctor.
That is true, actually. That is a statistic that says that men live longer and they're healthier and they're happier when they're married.
That's very true. Well, I know I get on his nerves, so I don't know about the happier part.
I just worry when she breaks out the wooden spoon and looks at me with it. So
something's going down.
So going back to legacy planning, I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about that in the audience, but that's not only for the ultra wealthy. A lot of people think, oh, I don't make enough money to do legacy planning. It really is something that everyone should be considering.
Absolutely. I can't think of anything more important than making sure that your legacy is in order. Again, take care of you first. But I hear several people that will say, I want to give. And speaking of giving, I want to talk about the receiving. Everyone I know that received a legacy, I know the person who gave it to you wants you to be able to spend it and enjoy it, not to hoard anything or, have a big worry. And also, as far as the legacy goes, please don't plan on your parents passing away to plan for your retirement. I see that quite often. They think, oh, I'm going to receive an inheritance and that will be my retirement plan. That's not what that is. What if your parent ends up in long-term care and they spend the entire legacy? That's not going to work out. I love the word legacy, obviously with Powerful Legacy, and our farm is called Legacy Acres. So you think about that. What is that legacy? All that time that you can make an impact and leave beyond your life. That's what it really is. So we have a lot of planning for that before it actually comes.
Absolutely. And Rob, you and Kristina have a very special offer to present. Let's talk about what that is.
We do. No matter who you are out there, if you want a first or a second review, please give us a call. We are happy to go through your entire savings, everything that you have worked so hard to control and keep for your life, all the sacrifices that you've made to accumulate this money. We would be happy to give you a complimentary review and tell you exactly if you're on track or not. It's a very extensive review and it's a lot of time, and we're happy to do that for you. We want to make sure that you're armed with everything that you need to make successful decisions. Our number is 877-893-5099.
Rob, thank you so much. Kristina, thank you. To the viewers at home, that number to call, 877-893-5099. If you're sitting in the viewing audience and you're wondering today, do you have the right plan in place? Do you have your legacy plan in place? Rob and Kristina are offering you this complimentary consultation. Don't miss out on this opportunity. If you have your smartphone handy, go ahead, grab it, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services landing page. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're talking about how your wishes to keep those instilled right now while you're still alive, and also what happens with your wishes when you pass away. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. We're talking about legacy planning.
Well, before we even meet the client, we do set expectation of the information that we would need to make the most of our time together. When people come in, I never know how long an appointment's going to last. Sometimes it could be 20 or 30 minutes. Sometimes it could be a couple of hours. We're based in Kentucky, but we do service that Kentuckiana area, so our Lexington and Louisville firms. Well, Kentucky is home. Most of you that know me know that I was born in northern Utah, so I've been in Kentucky for almost 30 years. It's home and I absolutely love it. Lexington and Louisville are very different. The people are different. The demographic is very different. But there's one thing that is absolutely similar, which is people are just wonderful. We get to deal with so many amazing people, and I meet a lot of amazing people in this career. So I'm very grateful, very blessed. The big box firm just reminds me of that, a big cardboard box, just not really anything special, kind of like you must fit in that box for things to work. And one of the things that I really love about my own company is because it is woman started, woman owned. Women rule the world. Let's not ever make this mistake of thinking otherwise. Ladies, we got this. So knowing that women are making the primary financial decisions and that women live longer, I think that there's just more of a natural attraction to the fact that I can sit down woman to woman, make sure that you're going to have an amazing, lasting rest of your life.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is Cynthia DeFazio, and I am joined today by Kristina 𝗃𝗹𝗂𝗃 and Rob 𝗃𝗹𝗃 of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services, and we're talking about your legacy, your personal legacy. What happens when you pass away? Kristina, that's a great question. I know you hear a lot. People are coming into the office and they're thinking, okay, this is what I want for my children. This is what I want for my charities, if you will. So when you're talking about legacy planning, are we talking about things like money, homes? What are we thinking about as far as leaving to others?
So all of the above, and contrary to popular belief, most of the time, your children and your grandchildren do not want the things that you have collected.
That's
true. A lot of
true.
people think that they've got this collection of Beanie Babies that is worth so much money and they're going to sell them one of these days. Folks, that becomes something that is completely unimportant. The legacy is going to be the memories from you. And then obviously when we're talking about property and finances. So first off, you want to control this or make sure your wishes are taken care of before you're not here, because if you die intestate, which means with no will, and this goes to the court is going to tear it apart. We don't want that. And we definitely don't want it to be public information. Most wills do have to go to probate court, but your wishes are inside of the will. So we want to make sure and get those documents in order so that we know what you want when you pass away. I know I personally think about how much responsibility I don't want to leave for my children. I don't want them to have to make certain decisions. They already tell me that they're going to make the decision on my nursing home. So that's the ultimate threat right there.
Right.
Watch out.
It better be a good one.
Yes, but as far as, funeral planning, final expenses, all those type of things, just get it in order, be done with it. And then when you're talking about your estate, get that taken care of. Make sure that you can pass that property without paying a bunch of additional taxes. That is silly. We pay enough taxes as it is. So get this in order. An attorney is going to be your BFF on this one.
Absolutely. And so I have to ask you, Rob, people that are coming in and they don't have children to leave their finances to, what kind of advice do you have for those folks that say, I don't need a will, I have nothing to leave behind and no kids?
Before I get to that, I think Kristina's going to leave everything of ours to the grandbabies. We're going to eliminate the children and go straight for the grandbabies. But for the people that have not do not have a will, do not have children
to leave,
they can leave it to whoever they want. They could have a church, they could have a specific charity organization that they want to leave things to, and that is really, really kind. It's a very thoughtful process to go through, but you need to go about it the right way. You need to have that conversation. You need to create the will. You need to have that conversation with your charity of your choice or the church of your choice.
Okay. All right, Rob, thank you so much.
Charitable giving, Cynthia, one of the things that is absolutely fantastic is there can be some tax advantages inside of charitable giving from your pre-taxed accounts, like your 401ks, 403bs, traditional IRAs. You can actually receive some charitable giving discounts or discounts on taxation is what I'm really looking for. So the new Secure 2.0 Act changed all of this. So all of these charitable givings that we can find some advantage to make sure that you get things where you want them to go, but also taking some tax advantage while you're still here, that's a win-win.
That is a win-win, absolutely, because I have to ask another question. What if someone does pass away without a will? We talked about that would be very detrimental, of course, obviously. But on top of that, how important is it, Kristina, if your beneficiaries are not up to date? Let's talk about the importance of that.
Gosh. That is a very loaded question. I worked at a company as a debit agent for over a decade and had the privilege of taking a lot of life insurance claim checks out, and I would help people during that process. There was a situation where this gentleman had not changed his beneficiary in over 40 years, and his first wife that he was only married to a little over a year was still the beneficiary on it. She didn't do the right thing. She kept the money. That is terrible. So make sure that those things are in order. I don't even want to say the new wife. He was married to her for over 35 years. They had a family together, home, everything together. She needed that money.
Yeah.
So that's a really big deal.
It is.
Making sure that those beneficiaries are in order, that's a huge deal too. The number one attraction for life insurance is that you can normally leave money completely tax-free to your beneficiaries. That's also a way to pay for taxes. Let's say that you want to leave your children a farm, an estate, a large home or whatnot, and it's going to have a lot of taxation on it because you're gifting them a very expensive piece. You can actually buy a life insurance policy to pay for those taxes on that actual gift, which is phenomenal. So there are a lot of different ways to use that. Folks, if you're not healthy, or if you're speaking with someone about a life insurance policy and it sounds like it's just not quite right, please walk away from that. I've got a gentleman who was sold a life insurance policy. You should never be sold. And he's in his 70s, he's not healthy, so it was very expensive, and he was duped on it. It's awful, and he shouldn't have ever got the policy. Thank heaven, when I had the privilege of meeting him, we were able to contact the company, which I have a great relationship with, and fix this policy to where he didn't have to pay anything else, but he still had the policy. That's a really big deal. Make sure that you get it right up front. And you can ask a second opinion on life insurance too. People come in all the time. Do I still need this?
So I think that's what's so scary, Rob, is a lot of times people are very nervous to get a second opinion. They believe that the person that they're doing business with, if you will, has their best interest in mind. That's not always the case, and perhaps someone's just not well versed in certain avenues. So how important is it to make sure that you have a second opinion if you're unsure?
Well, I think we all want to believe that people do the right thing all the time. And we want to believe that our wishes are in place in the best possible way. But to be able to have that second opinion and let us go over the beneficiaries for you. Bring your policies in. We'd be happy to do that. We want to go over everything and just talk to you about it. Is this person still needs to be the beneficiary? Your contingency beneficiary, is that in line? And that's something that some people don't think about. Maybe that first beneficiary is already passed. Who's it going to go to now? So we don't want the fights to begin. We want to be able to do the right thing. So it is very important to come back and get a second, just get a second set of eyes on it.
Yeah, just to make sure that everything looks right.
There's no commitment when you come in to speak with us or let us review. We truly want to do the right thing, and we believe that's the right thing to do.
Absolutely. Well, Kristina, you and Rob have a very special offer to present today. Let's talk about what that is.
We do, folks. Yes, for those of you out there that do not have a complete written retirement plan, make sure that your Social Security timing is in order, your Medicare supplements. What's going to happen when it's time for required minimum distributions? Will you have enough money to where you do not outlive that during your last years? Also, as you come in, get a complimentary copy of the book, The Retirement Train. We love to give this to you. This book is not for sale. Several people have called in and said, I'm looking for this book to buy it. It's only given away through our nonprofit. So we want to make sure and give you that information. Information should be free. So give us a call. That number on the screen, 877-893-5099. A real person's going to answer the phone. Let's get you an appointment set today to get that opinion.
Kristina, thank you so much. And Rob, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, that number to call, 877-893-5099. We know that you have a lot of questions for Kristina and Rob about how to plan your perfect retirement, perhaps questions about legacy planning. They have the answers for you. Don't miss the opportunity to call in, 877-893-5099, or grab your smartphone, click on that QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. That will take you right to Powerful Legacy landing page. We're going to take a very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We have viewer questions when we return. You never know. This could be yours that we're addressing today. Stay tuned.
It's Kristina 𝗃𝗹𝗃. I'm the founder and CEO of Powerful Legacy. My boys are both licensed agents in the firm, and so when I was starting the business, I didn't want the business to be called Ping Legacy after my last name because it's my maiden name, not my son's names. The logo is my signature, PL. So I wanted to find something that went with legacy that started with the letter P, and my son Preston decided on the word powerful. It's my pride and joy. I worked in the corporate world for several years and realized that there's a lot more that I could be doing to help people. I really feel like that's the essence of life, to help others. And so being able to go from that everyday corporate mumbo jumbo to really honing in on what was the most important to me and what could I give back to other people, that's been the pleasure of Powerful Legacy. We get to meet people of all sorts, but truly when it comes down to them picking us and us picking them, we're very like-minded, very high in the morale, the ethics, the love for humanity, making sure that we're just doing the right thing. It's really that simple. I cut my teeth almost 20 years ago in the property and casualty world of insurance. Before that, I was actually going to be a lawyer. Don't hold that against me. And when I did jump into the insurance world, I just realized there's so much more to it, so just kept progressing, and then eventually into financial services, retirement, all those aspects of this entire career, and it's amazing.
Welcome back to Your Powerful Legacy TV. My name is 𝗃𝗹𝗂𝗃, and I'm joined today by Kristina 𝗃𝗹𝗂𝗃 and Rob 𝗃𝗹𝗃 of Powerful Legacy Insurance and Financial Services. And viewer questions are right now. I love to hear what viewers are thinking, and they can't wait to have answer. It's amazing. Kristina, do you want to take the first one?
Let's do it.
All right. It says, Kristina, how can I address potential conflicts among beneficiaries? I mean, that's a tough one.
Oh, gosh. I'm the oldest of a huge family. I have several siblings, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like, just having to get everything together amongst all of us. And I'm kind of the ringleader of the circus, so I know my parents have made me primary on a lot of things because they know that's what I do for a living, so obviously we'll take care of it. But please get that in order before you pass away. I've watched two brothers, grown men in their 50s, roll around on the floor over $300.
Wow.
This is so silly. Money brings out the most crazy things. It's like a magnifier. If you're a good person and you're very giving, you're going to be more so. If you're a jerk, you're just going to be a bigger jerk. So the same thing happens after death. And when it comes time to talk about money, get a really good attorney. Trust your gut. Interview a few people. There's nothing wrong with that. Interview a few different advisors. Make sure that you're picking the one that's right for you. We all do not do the same thing. So just like we don't do the same thing, attorneys don't do the same thing, CPAs have their specialties. So make sure you're finding the one that's right for you.
Absolutely. Great answer. Thank you, Kristina. Rob, this next question. Rob, do I need life insurance? I'm unsure.
Maybe. Depends on what your situation is and what kind of life insurance. You may already have some from your past employer or a past purchase that you've forgotten about. Have you went back and looked through all of your old documents to see what is out there? Because we see a lot of people that have passed away and the kids or grandkids are going through their information and they don't know what's in there. So they'll find a document, they don't know if it's active, they don't know what's going on with it, and they don't know what to do about it. They bring those into us, we help them out, we try to progress them forward. If they do need something, then we have to tailor something that's right for them. And with all the products out there, it's very important to know the products, the endorsements that go along with the products, and the extra coverages that will cover different scenarios. So it's very important that you select and have somebody help you select the right product.
That's actually death insurance. Life insurance is new. Do you have the new life insurance or the old life insurance? Did you know you can actually put long-term care inside of life insurance now? You can put critical, chronic, terminal illness benefits inside of life insurance that pay you while you're still alive. So it's not just death insurance. And for some people, this is going to be one of the ways that you can hedge against that ultimate fear of losing your entire estate and everything that you've worked for to a long-term care Medicaid spend down. So sit down and talk with a professional about that one.
Most definitely, most definitely. Great answers, both. This is a great question. It says, Kristina, I've been panicking about the forecasted recession. I even pushed my retirement date because of the uncertainty in the air. And is there anything that I can do to maximize the window of 5 to 6 years standing between myself and my retirement? Any insight that you have would greatly ease my mind.
Okay, so everybody is talking about this. I just want to address the elephant in the room is the economy is totally in the crapper, and we all know this. It's so awful. I don't think that people have seen inflation like this in their lifetime, let alone maybe even their parents' or grandparents' lifetimes. This is so terrible. And we have this political storm. Things are farther apart than ever. And think about this for just a moment. People are earning less money, and the housing market is higher than ever. I know you understand that one, Cynthia.
Absolutely.
So with this overall storm economically, the number one thing that I can recommend for you is the money that you have already saved. Speak with an advisor and find out what your risk tolerance is. How much risk can you tolerate through this storm? Now, we're going to have these nice bull markets and then also the bears. That's when the market is up. We were in an amazing bull run for 13 years. Every advisor looks like a superstar when the market is up. That is nothing special. You can pick the winners most of the time when the market is up. But when the market goes down, the advisor that manages that bottom side and your risk, that's what you really need to be focused on. What is your risk tolerance? Ask that question.
Absolutely, Kristina. Thank you. Rob, we have time for one final question. It says, I'm 65 years old and retired. I have about $50,000 in debt from loans and credit cards. I'm about to receive around $170,000 from my father's estate. In your opinion, should I pay off all of my debt at once?
Well, it depends on what the debt is. Credit cards, yes, try to lick those off as quick as possible. The credit card percentage rate is astronomical. Make sure you get that off. Make sure you're balancing this out. What is the credit rating or the percentages on your loans that you have outstanding? But in general, maybe not your house, but those type of debts, yes, it's very important to get those knocked out. Just because you don't want that hovering over you, and Social Security and different retirement avenues might be limited for you. We don't know until we sit down and talk with you.
Rob, thank you so much. Kristina, you and Rob have a very special offer to present. Let's talk about what that is.
We do. Folks, for those of you who may think that you already have a written financial plan in place, I challenge you to open it up and take a look. Do you know exactly what your income is going to be for the rest of your life in the worst case scenario? Do you know the best time for Social Security to be filed? Do you know what your Medicare expenses are going to be, and are they forecasted inside of that plan? Most importantly, down the road, do you have your required minimum distributions as part of your overall plan? If you're missing any of those pieces, we'd love to give you a second opinion. There it is. For those of you that are just getting started, you do not have a retirement plan at all, that's okay. Come on in and see us. This is a complimentary plan. Just because it's complimentary doesn't mean it's not valuable. I've seen people pay several thousands of dollars for this. Come in and see us. Let's get this together and make sure that you're on track for retirement. We're also going to have a complimentary copy of the book, The Retirement Train. Come in and get this. Can't wait to see you.
Kristina, thank you so much. Rob, thank you so much. To our viewers at home, most specifically, thank you for spending time with us today. Be safe, be happy, and be blessed. We'll see you back here 1 week from today on Your Powerful Legacy TV. Take care.